You said you grew up in Colorado.
Yeah, I grew up in Aurora. My mom is still out there. She's still living in Aurora. And then my dad died when I was 14.
Sorry,
so it's just, thanks. Yeah, it's just been there. And then my grandmother still lives out in San Francisco. So those are the two places I go.
I hate to ask you this. Where were you? Because we talked about before the podcast. I have a deep, deep love for Colorado.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what happened. And the people who are listening in Denver, I just went to Denver and I did 2 shows at the Paramount. And I went back to the room and I cried a little bit that night.
Yeah.
Because I've been to every state in the fucking union. You know, Alaska, Hawaii, pretty much. I haven't done comedy in all of them. But Colorado's a special place. Or it was. When I first stepped foot in Colorado in 1983, it was a magical kingdom, especially where I came from in New York City and New Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm from right over the tunnel.
Yeah, so you saw
over
shit.
the tunnel, that's where I'm from.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And then New York City. And listen, not to take anything away from New York City. When New York City sneezes, everybody catches a cold. New York runs this bitch. But when I went to Colorado, it was something magical.
Yeah.
Like what I was expecting and what I saw were 2 different things.
Did you think it was just going to be like a podunk, tiny cow town?
I still remembered being a child.
83, man, that's Colorado. Denver's not big in 83.
I still remember being a child and them always going tonight on ABC, whatever, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Mountain Time.
Yeah.
And Mountain Time always fucked with me. I said, what the fuck is Mountain Time, you know?
Yeah.
So when somebody came up to me and they go, listen, you're not doing too well here. I got a spot in Basalt. It's 45 minutes from Aspen. We got a house there. You're more than welcome to come out and get your head together. It was like, wow. But so I went, in those days you did not go online.
Yeah.
I went to the library. I was a bookie on 118th Street.
Okay.
And I went to some New York library and I got an encyclopedia and looked up Colorado and I read all about it. And I was like, I guess I'll go out there. And I pictured Little House on the Prairie. And I remember waking up on I-70 and seeing all this commerce and all this shit.
Yeah.
But we weren't headed there. We were headed to Basalt.
So you had to go through Colorado. You go through the foothills.
Shit, and all of a sudden you start to see this.
Georgetown. You're going by Georgetown on I-70.
You start to see it, it went, except for the mountains, it looked like fucking Newark. Downtown Denver, whatever the fuck, downtown was a hellhole when I moved to Colorado.
Yeah.
So we didn't stop in Denver. We drove through Denver, and I was like, not that bueno. But once we got out of Denver, and you start feeling those mountains, and I got to be honest with you, and a lot of people, you think I'm crazy. You don't feel it because you grew up there. I didn't grow up there, but the first time I was surrounded by mountains, something happens to you. Something happens to you. The mountains really have an effect on you. When I lived in Seattle, I would go to Bremerton, and that's the deepest point in the United States. That's why they launch submarines out of Bremerton.
Okay.
And when you're there, when you live close to the ocean and you live in a city like New York, and then you move to Colorado, there's some type of energy in those mountains. And I felt it. I felt at peace. For the first time, I didn't have to do coke. For the first time, I slept.
So it relaxed you.
I learned how to go fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. That's
going skiing in Mammoth.
Growing up there, I think you don't realize.
You do not realize
because to you, you're from like a smaller town. Denver is a small town, and you're watching. I was growing up with cable, so you were watching shows based in New York and shit, and Denver was a small town, and then you would go to the mountains to do things with your parents. But that was kind of like you were going along because they wanted to do something. And for you, you're like, this sucks. I'd rather be at home with my friends running around doing that stuff. So I never really appreciated the mountains until I left Colorado and came back. And then I was like, holy shit. But also in a weird way, that's also why I think I appreciate New York so much, is because I grew up in a place like Denver where it's a lower pace. It's a slower pace. Kind of everyone, there's room out there. And then I moved to New York, and I just liked that everything was there and you could get to work. And it was like, if you wanted to work, you could go. So I think having that opposite, either growing up in a different place like New York and Denver, and then having it as an adult, you can appreciate both. Because I don't think there's a better place I could have grown up than Denver, than Aurora. Suburbs of a nice,
fucking beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's sunny.
Beautiful.
It's so sunny all the time.
Nicest white people.
Great, nice white people.
Lately,
not for a couple generations ago.
Yeah. Now, you got to remember, I moved to fucking Basalt.
Yeah.
And the first thing we did for dinner the first night was go to a place where they gave you a fishing pole. I'm a New York City kid. I handled guns. Yeah. I threw rocks at people.
You got to descale a fish.
These people give you a fishing pole for $10. You throw it in the roaring fork. You catch a trout. They take it. They skin it. They cook it. And then they give you potato salad, 2 pieces of bread, and a beer. That was my first experience. I was like, what the fuck?
Yo, that is some frontier
fucking
shit.
Cool is this shit? And everybody's talking to people. And I still tell people. Somebody put it up on Twitter. I still remember hitchhiking.
Yeah.
Like the big thing in Basalt was they had a hitching post. So you could hitchhike. And people would actually pull up and go, I'm not going up that far today. I'm so sorry. Good morning, though. And I'd go, fuck you, because I'm from New York. You don't fucking tell me good morning. I still remember going home the first day. I applied for jobs. And I still remember my buddies like, so how'd it go today? I'm like, I'm out of here. They're fucking faggots. They tell you good morning. How are you? They ask you how you doing. They talk to you. Yeah. Like I came from 1970 New York, where you were raised to look straight. You don't look down. You don't make eye contact. Only, I swear to God, I still remember hitchhiking and a lady pulling up and going, good morning. I wish I would give you a ride, but I can't because I'm only going up to Old Snowmass. And me going, why'd he stop? What the fuck is wrong? Get the fuck out of here.
Blowing your mind that someone
blowing my mind that somebody was that nice.
It almost feels. Did it feel like intrusive?
Oh
like
my
someone
God.
You're like,
it
what are you?
Felt like something I never. It took me a month to get used to, and then I was all in.
But what happened when you went back east after getting used to the Colorado conversation?
It took me about 8 months. I stayed and I really enjoyed it. I learned how to ski by myself. On Christmas Day, 83, I was all in, but I brought luggage with me. I brought my thievery luggage with me. And Snowmass Village is the size of fucking 3 blocks.
Yeah.
And I started robbing jewelry stores and burglarizing them all Christmas Eve. So I had backed myself out of a position. So I left. Then I came back a year and a half later, moved back up there like nothing had happened. Again, I left in disgrace. I ended up getting arrested in Boulder. Now, when I moved to Aspen, I went to Boulder. And I was in Boulder 5 minutes before I looked at my buddies and I go, get the fucking car. Why would you bring me to this filthy, hippie, stinky sandal wearing fucking place?
You're just up on the hill watching all those hippies walk around?
I didn't go to the hill yet. I was down on Pearl Street Mall.
Yeah.
And I go, get me the fuck out of here. People playing the guitar with dogs and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the most Colorado shit in the world.
We got out of there and I never went back to Boulder.
Pearl Street Mall is super fucking Colorado.
I'm like, I'm not going back to Boulder again. Yeah. Filthy animals, white people. I'm never going back there.
Feral whites.
Everybody had sandals on and shit. Yeah. Fuck that. And I went to New York, got a beating in New York, ended up homeless, the whole thing. Okay. On a plane ride back to Colorado. I said, I'm moving to Colorado Springs. And I bumped into a black guy on the flight, and he goes, man, you don't want to move to no Colorado Springs. That's an army town.
Yep.
You're
Air Force.
How old are you? 21. You want some pussy. You got to move to Boulder.
Yeah.
So I landed, got a hotel room, took a bus to Boulder the next day, and I moved to 1012 14th Street. Right on the fucking hill, around the corner from fucking the downtown club, 16 and over.
Yeah.
Where Canavis McGee punched the guy in the eye and it knocked his eyeball out and shit. Tremendous. This was
that's fucking
around
awesome.
The corner from Abo's Pizza. I could throw a rock at the University of Colorado.
Yeah.
Wow. On 1012 14th Street, you could.
Dude, I know exactly where that is because all my friends' older brothers and sisters went to Boulder. So when I was in high school, you'd go up and go to those house parties, and you just like the Halloween house parties. If you were a high school kid in Aurora and one of your friends' older brothers went to Colorado, you'd be like, oh, let's go up there and drink. You just go and do a keg and pay $5, but you were like 17. It was fucking great.